We've come to Queen's to take a deeper dive into the science behind how to fuel tennis matches and how the pros do it. Players go through over 30,000 bananas over the 2 weeks at Wimbledon, but now there are proven strategies of how to fuel before, during and after tennis matches that involve more than just bananas. Tennis involves short, explosive movements that can deplete your carb stores over several hours. So, you want to start well fueled by carb loading in the 1 to 2 days before your match. The recommendations are to eat 8 to 12 grams per kilogram of your body weight per day. In real terms, that will mean adding more carb-rich foods to your diet, including rice, potatoes, or even the odd crepe.
I just try to eat normal, the way I eat either would be a pasta or I like rice and then protein in the evening. But I do feel the need to eat more carbs already subconsciously in the evening if, for example, I've had a tough day.
On match day, aim to eat another high carb meal, 1 to 4 grams per kilogram of your body weight in the final 1 to 4 hours before you play. Of course, the tricky part if your match starts later in the afternoon or if it keeps getting delayed.
Normally, if I think I'm going to play around, let's say 3 o'clock, then I work my day back for when I'm going to practice, when I need to warm up, when I'm going to fit in lunch, and then of course when I'm going to wake up, have my breakfast. I kind of, like I said, I'd rather eat more consistently through the day without I don't want long breaks of not eating and certainly not drinking. I'd rather just be constantly topping up. For me, I've always got bars in my bag. I'm always kind of snacking, throughout the day, because just to kind of top up my fuel, my energy levels, whatever. For me, the worst thing is going on court feeling like I'm hungry and I haven't eaten enough.
One of the most common mistakes we see players making is drinking too much plain water in the build-up to their matches and training. Instead, try preloading with a strong electrolyte drink, both the night before and morning of your sessions and matches. The added sodium boosts your blood plasma volume and helps with fluid retention to make sure you're starting well hydrated.
No, I'm on that the night, for sure the night before. I'm okay, gotta fuel, because I've seen people just drop over the years, and because of that, it's preparation, right? Preparation doesn't start 1 hour before you go out in the heat, for example. So for me, I've always been pretty on top of that stuff. And again, it's fail to prepare, prepare to fail, that sort of mentality. I can't obviously, control my result, but, I can give myself the best chance possible. And that's one of the things that's going to help me. So, it's totally in my control, so may as well do it, right?
In these situations where it's extremely hot and extremely humid as well, I would try to drink electrolytes in the morning with breakfast.
Once you're out on court, your fuel and hydration strategy should focus on carbohydrates, sodium and fluid. Carbohydrates are the main fuel source used by your body during play. You're going to need to eat something if you're going to avoid the dreaded bonk.
Normally I've got I'll take maybe 3 gels in my bag just to get me through the match if I need it. I can sit down, quick nibble of my bar or whatever, bit of the carb gel and off I go.
For example, a PF30 gel and a PF30 chew deliver 30 grams of carbohydrate each, so you'll be aiming for 1 or 2 of these per hour.
I struggled in the beginning. I couldn't digest. I got sick, so I trained myself to now take 45 grams. That's of the drinks and gels combined.
For training and matches over 2 hours, look to increase your carbohydrate intake to 60 to 90 grams per hour. So in real terms, if you're looking for 60 grams an hour, 1 PF chew bar delivers 60 grams, or if you're aiming for 90 grams, then 1 PF90 gel will do the job. Of course, with tennis, you don't know how long the match is going to take. It could be a 30-minute double bagel, or it could be a 3-hour epic. So you need to make sure you carry enough fuel with you. When it comes to hydration, you need enough fluid to keep you hydrated for several hours on court.
We all know that hydration affects performance so much. So for us, it's super important to be on top of that. And still nowadays, guys will get caught out when all of a sudden the weather spikes and humidity ramps up, and they haven't done their preparation from the day before or whatever, and they're coming in at a deficit, and then they get caught out and you get the cramps and everything else. So I think it's super important to be on top of that, because it will cost you if you're not.
How much you need to drink per hour will be dictated by your sweat rate, which varies based on genetics, the intensity and the conditions on the day.
I'll do like half a liter of carbs drink, half a liter of electrolyte drinks, well actually a liter and a liter. So I have 4 bottles, 2 and 2. I mean, I try to go through it all, but it also depends on the length of the match.
It's not advisable to drink to replace 100% of your sweat losses. We've worked with pro players who lose up to 3 litres per hour out on court.
Last year in Hua Hin in Thailand, I had a 3-hour 50 match. I remember my coach at the time made me like drinks of 2 and 2 bottles, and I asked for more. And on top of that, I think I drank like 3 or 4 bottles of water. It was so hot, and yeah, I would, in these situations where it's extremely hot and extremely humid as well, I would try to drink electrolytes in the morning with breakfast.
Depending on the conditions on the day, you may need to drink anywhere from 500 millilitres up to a litre per hour. If you're playing for over 90 minutes, it'll be worth adding some electrolytes to your bottles. You can determine how salty your sweat is and which electrolyte strength you should use by having a sweat test. The telltale signs that you lose a lot of salt in your sweat are marks on your kit and cramping up, especially in hot conditions. If you're going to be playing on back-to-back days or multiple times a day, then you can replenish your sodium by using pH 1500.
For precision, normally it's like I use like the 1500s, which I guess is probably like the strongest ones you've got. I just like knowing that
Awesome.
I'm using the max I can. And then often I'm getting through 2 of those in a match, maybe a bit more like if it extends, but that's kind of like what I tend to work through. I've got like loads of stuff in my bag, so if the match goes long or I'm just drinking more than normal for whatever reason, I can just refill and chuck the tabs in or the sachets. Like it's super easy. Just at the end changes.
So, when you're next preparing to step out on court, here are the main points to remember. Carb load with carb-rich foods in the 1 to 2 days before your match. Eat a final carb-rich meal in the 1 to 4 hours before you play. Take a final 30-gram hit of carb before you start. Aim for 30 to 90 grams of carbohydrate per hour, depending on intensity and duration. Replenish your losses with carb-rich foods and electrolytes after play. Ultimately, the key will be to work out your individual carbohydrate, sodium and fluid needs through trial and error in training. If you need help with this, book a free one-to-one video consultation with our athlete support team.